with me. I'm just operating off the cuff here. Having just received the election materials in the mail, I'm trying to get a handle on Measure D, and given that the pros and cons seem to center around the debate as to whether the measure removes the ability for the public to have a ability to referendum ability. The impartial analysis seems to have contradictory language, and it occurred to me that since the only way to get this cleared up would be to speak to the person who wrote the impartial analysis. So I have a simple question for Mr. Melching. If Measure D is enacted and a development project meets the 15% revenue criteria described in the measure, does that mean that there is no opportunity for voter referendum? That's a yes or no question.
Mr. Melching, under the Brown Act, what are the limits? Do we want to take this offline? Because the city cannot take a position on electoral issues, as you know.
Yes, I am happy to take this conversation offline. I am not happy to do it in the form of public comment during a public meeting.
And your reason is?
Because the Brown Act really forbids us from responding directly to questions that come to us in this context, and I am particularly reluctant to do it with regard to matters that are pending on a ballot before the Irvine voters. So, sir, I'm happy to get your contact information and discuss it with you individually, but I don't want to do it in this forum.
Okay. Related question, to use a real-world example, and that being Measure B. If Measure D were enacted, if Measure D were enacted a year ago, would Measure B be able to be on the ballot?
Thanks for that. If you'll provide your contact information to Carl over there, I'll get in touch with you.